Hey, how's it going? This is Brian from Bees Music Shop, and I'm here with Nick from Oneder Effects. We did this once a long time ago. You were the first guest person we ever really had here, and then we sat down and we said a lot of horrible things. No, we said a lot of weird things, and we talked about your pedals. You just had like a couple, I think 2 or 3. The Less Than Jake had just came out. I don't think it was even on the market yet.
Right.
And now you have blossomed, as we say.
I have blossomed. It's always been my goal to kind of have a pedal board full of pedals in like every category.
Yeah.
And I'm almost there. So
yeah,
right now, I think my old Blue Overdrive, and this is the Red Rider Distortion V2, which I just built last night. I feel like those two spots are finally here. 5 years later, I've been a company for 5 years this year. I have my overdrive and my distortion dialed in. And then, of course, this wet, hot American bummer delay and reverb.
That came out last summer, right?
That was kind of like November last year.
Yeah.
So, it hasn't been out too long. And then, I'm always toying around with boosts and stuff, trying to get like my boost, but the Newfound Glory boost.
Because you have friends in the music industry.
Yes.
And you have started making a whole series. Like Less Than Jake was the first one, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like if you go way back to, my collaborations and things like that, the first one I really did was with that pro wrestler, Danhausen. And then kind of after that, I didn't really consider doing the band thing until I got a call from Chris from Less Than Jake. And I was like, whoa, that's actually a really cool idea. And around then I got the go ahead to do a No Effects pedal as well.
Yeah.
And then from that point, and then I started, because of the Danhausen pedal, I met Bo from Harm's Way, because he was like, how did this pro wrestler friend of mine get a signature guitar pedal and I don't have one? So I was like, well, Harm's Way rules. Like, let's work on a pedal. So we developed the HW2, and that took a long time to get going, but really happy with that. And then, some of the artists that I've worked with, they weren't friends beforehand. They were Wonder pedal users.
Yeah.
And then we kind of developed a relationship, which is just crazy. And that's kind of how I met the Get Up Kids, one of my all-time favorite bands. So doing the action pedal with them. And it's been a really cool ride, kind of having half band signature pedals and half my own line.
And they all look super different, too. It's not like you're just taking the old Blue and, different art. Like,
right, yeah.
Just putting cats on it.
No. Why would we do that?
Who would do that?
No.
But yeah, let's go through. Do you want to go through, where do we want to start? Do you want to start with the artist pedals, or do you want to start with Old Blue and Red Rider V2s? I know you just made these. So these are like the proto V2s, right?
Yeah, well, Old Blue V2 has been out for a little while now. But the Red Rider,
we actually have some in stock. I should have known that.
Yeah. Well, it's very similar to the V1, so that's why a lot of people didn't even realize there was a change. And with the V2 on Old Blue, we added one more clipping option. So the V2 clipping option, which is kind of the just right setting to my ear.
Yeah.
It's like perfect. It's smooth. It's great. And then also we just changed up the low end contour. It used to be all the way down was thick and all the way up was even thicker. But now it's kind of you can cut bass as well. So at noon is sort of the classic Old Blue. You can cut some bass, if you're going to boost another pedal or another amp, tighten it up. Or if you're playing a weaker pickup or a single coil, you can get that bass kind of cranked. It's just a lot more.
Let's play with that one.
Yeah.
Let's go through it. I know you probably have some other demos of it, but...
Yeah, it's just a lot more of a usable pedal. It already was great and just a little bit better now, so...
Oh yeah, you can thin it right out.
Yeah, so it still sounds good even down there.
Which I like doing stuff like that when I use my neck pickup. I tend to, because we both have played Reverends before, and they always have that bass roll off.
Yeah.
And I do that a lot where I go to a neck pickup and roll out the bass just to give it like a smoother bridge.
Let me do that real quick, because I got the neck pickup going here. It's just incredibly...
Because it just changes the way it sounds. And with a neck pickup, there's so much bass that cutting it doesn't necessarily lose the bottom end. It just changes the way it overdrives in some ways.
Yeah, it sounds really nice and sparkly, even on the... And then the clipping options, the kind of plus is a little bit more hair on top, a little louder.
Yeah.
And then the minus is a little bit more compressed.
And that's just different diodes, or?
Yep. One is symmetrical silicon diodes, and then the plus is symmetrical silicon diodes with an added LED diode at the end, which is not something a lot of people do, but I'm not an electrical engineer. I just go by what sounds good. So I was like, all right, we're going to do that. And then V2, the one that I like, is an asymmetrical silicon diode. And it's just the ultimate overdrive for me anyway. And I think anybody would benefit from having one, just whether it's used as a boost or a low gain always on, a kind of a drivey thing. It's just, that's my desert island.
Yeah, I mean, you've often
pedal.
said that's like the pedal you want to be. Like, if people try one of your pedals, that's the one you want them to try.
Yeah. And, unfortunately, I can also say it's the safest, but that's also a good thing. You know, like you can plug that into your rig, even if you don't want a pedal, and you can sweeten it up somehow. So, yeah.
I want to know who doesn't want a pedal. They're like, is it like a phobia? That would be pretty good.
There are those guys online that are just like, true tone comes from direct into the amp. And it's like,
and then
right,
you're like,
cool.
I don't know about that. And they're like, what?
It's a little more fun with these little knob boxes, I say.
Yeah, no, I think pedals are like, I don't know. I used to always love pedals when, like in the 90s, and like, buying and selling gear, and you just be like, these are like the trading cards of the guitar world, because they were, and they're a little more pricier now than they were back then, but like you could just get random weirdness, or like you'd come across like a 70s. I remember finding like an EHX space drum once, and I was like, what is this? It doesn't have an input. It has like a pad for hitting.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Then it's
That's
a
awesome.
one-note synthesizer. And I remember selling one for like $55, and I wish... Like, that's why I'm not selling pedals anymore. I'm just like, because I have so many that have went through my hands where I was like, I sold this for a laughable amount of money. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I should keep it. And then I didn't. And
yeah, it's actually kind of funny to think about. In 2012, my band, the Swellers, made a record at Rancho Recordo, a studio in Fenton, Michigan. With Mark Hudson, our good buddy. And I actually played through a pedal that I had never really heard of. I wasn't super into pedals back in 2012, and he always plugged me through this overdrive called a Klon Centaur. And he was like, yeah, these sound really good. I like them a lot. And then a little bit later, he's like, yeah, apparently these are getting pretty expensive. Like, people think they're pretty cool. They might cost like $1,000 now. And I'm like, $1,000 for a pedal? Fast forward 13 years, just astronomical prices,
I remember when they were sold in the back of Vintage Guitar for $265, and my friend was like, this is what Trey from Fish uses, and I'm going to get one of these because this is the best an overdrive could sound. And I literally went, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Who in their right mind would spend $265 on a distortion pedal?
Yeah.
And like, I remember being like, that is like, and it looks stupid too. Like, I remember.
It's like, what? Why is it so big and weird and boxy?
I was like, yeah, I don't care what's in that. That can't be that cool. And now I would go back in time and buy 10 of them and never play them. And
yeah, Matt from 1981 Inventions, the pedal maker, he plays in the band Reliant K, and I just heard that he wanted to order one straight from Bill back in like the early 2000s or whenever it was. And he got on the phone because like it was like a very one-on-one personal thing. And Bill's like, tell me about your rig. What do you normally play? And Matt told him. And Bill said, no, I just don't think you're going to like it. And then Matt was like, oh, okay. And like he basically,
hung up on him.
and basically he didn't get the Klon back then. And the kind of integrity it takes to just be like, I would build you this pedal, but I just don't think that this is something you're gonna, it's gonna work for you, which is very funny. Like, I can't imagine turning someone down if they even wanted to try it out. But I think he ended up buying a very expensive one later. So he got his Klon finally.
Wow, that's fucking hilarious.
I know, I love that. Like, it's just such a cool, little origin story.
why? Yeah, like, and only someone whose pedals are worth $5,000 each now can be like, I told people now a lot. Like, that's what it takes. Like, you have to just be like, I won't sell you this old Blue, and then maybe in like 4 years, people be like, they're $3,000 now.
Right? Yeah.
It's like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld. You know, it's like,
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I'm cutting you off right here.
yeah. I don't think you're gonna like my soup, so no, you don't get to try it.
So yeah, the Red Ryder V2, I was just telling you earlier, I just put it together for the first time last night.
Yeah.
And the only real changes about this are, I just think most of the controls are a bit more intuitive.
Yeah.
They just work a little better. So you have more control in the lower gains, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And this used to have like a light up little plastic blend control that it was the LED. And I can't tell you how many times people would write me saying my pedal just does not work anymore, like it doesn't have distortion. And I had to be like, turn the blend knob all the way to the left so it's wet. And they would do it and go, oh my God, I didn't even know that was a knob.
Yeah.
It's disguised. And that's why I did it. I wanted it to only have 4 knobs. But it happened again recently. And the person still, even after I explained it, they still didn't know that was a knob. They were just like, I tried every knob and I didn't know I could turn that. And I was like, it's time to do away with that little fun feature. So we got a nice, big, beautiful knob that actually says full and dry on it. Because I also found some people don't know what wet, dry even means. They think wet has something to do with just how it sounds.
Or like distortion or reverb or something.
Yeah. So I have full. You turn it all the way up, you're getting full Red Ryder. And also the blend on here, the clean blend, is just a lot nicer and more intuitive. It stays louder. I intended that pedal to kind of be my bass preamp pedal when I started this company. And it just happens to sound super good on guitar. Very ratty, rat style.
And also the LED is very bright on this one.
Yep.
This is the proto.
Oh, heck yeah. And I love rat pedals, but they don't always sound great at low gain.
Yeah.
So now that I got the Red Ryder to sound really nice at low gain, sometimes you have to make it up with this weight contour, get a little bit more low end.
That sounds so good. I mean, one cool thing about your pedals is like you're always kind of, you came with this like backwards. You like Benjamin Buttoned into it from playing in a band and touring and doing these things, and then getting into producing and recording, and then you just kept screwing with sounds, and then you ended up, okay, I guess I have to learn how electronics work. Whereas some people, started with electronics background and got into making pedals.
Right.
Like, so
that's a funny way to put it. Yeah, I did kind of like back up into this. Yeah.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's but also I think it gave you, like, you have a real strong sense of what you like and what you want it to sound like, and you're not really, you're not like, well, a rat is built exactly this way, and here's the circuit. I think sometimes like you're more driven by what you want to hear, and so you tweak from that angle.
For sure.
So,
I have a very sensitive ear to what I think sounds good on stage, in the studio, even just like jamming alone in my house, So when it comes to making pedals and kind of fine tuning, whatever I can, sometimes with analog, potentiometers, it's like you can't always get it to do what you want it to do. There's going to be a couple sweet spots, but for the most part, the full range of most of my knobs on most of my pedals, they're all pretty usable in some sort of way. And the clean blend on the Red Ryder,
I love clean blend on pedals. I think it's one of like just, very little bit, just a little bit, but a little bit is like, it just really cleans up, chords and big loud chords, and just gives them where that you can hear the true tones kind of shine through.
Yeah, it's also cool. A lot of people don't really, they don't remember that it's not just a clean blend, but it blends in whatever comes before it too. So when you have Old Blue on, and then you have Red Ryder on, it's kind of a lot of gain,
Then you can come back over here, and that's just Old Blue.
Yep.
that's just Red Rider.
Yep. So yeah, it's like kind of a fun way to stack pedals instead of just one smashing into the other. It's like you could have one smashing into half of a Red Rider if you want. But yeah, I mean, my main use for a clean blend is usually on bass, so I don't have to set up a clean bass amp and a distorted bass amp and blend them together. You can kind of get the best of both worlds using the clean blend,
Get a little bit of sizzle on the top end and, get that growl in it and, where it sits nice in a mix. I mean, that's a funny thing with bass sometimes, how you have to almost distort the mids and then when you're listening to it on a phone or a laptop, you can hear it. It's not just boom, boom.
Yeah. And that's another thing I like to do with the Red Rider is actually, even though I am blending it in on the bass, like with the wet and the dry.
I'm going to get my bass.
Oh, right on.
Why do I get my bass? Why do I not? Have you seen my bass in person?
Ooh, I don't know. Is this the...
This is the bass.
This is the bass. All right.
The bass, the cower.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I haven't played this thing yet.
Well, I'll play it.
Yeah, please do.
You can play it.
No, go for it. I can tweak a little bit.
I love this bass. This is that.
That is so sick. So yeah, this is full dirt. And now you kind of get the low end, the roundness, with a little bit of the dirt in there. So there it is raw, Then just a little bit of hair on there.
Oh, yeah. All right, now you can play it.
Oh, right on.
Here, you can put yours over there. We got stands. We got things.
Just keep that plugged
You can just keep it plugged in this one because I'll take it back. I'll probably just cut this. It's fun bass. So
this is cool.
Yeah, dude, I love that bass because I had that idea and then I really did not expect Doug to even remotely take me seriously. So there's the balance button. So that taps the bisonic. And then I think the bottommost knob all the way clockwise is the bisonic. And then if you roll it backwards, it's the H22 bridge.
Oh, wow.
I love the way those pickups, like the H22, I don't know if you ever saw any of the stuff I talked about, but that H22 that was a harmony bass in like the 60s.
Yeah.
And it looked like a Les Paul. It was this really bizarre bass. And I had one time through the years, came in, it had been spray painted flat black, but they did such a bad job that we figured out we could just like wipe it with guitar polish and it would come off.
Oh, wow.
So we spent like 3 days getting this bass to look factory again and cleaned up all the lacquer and everything.
That's
and
cool.
that was like the best sounding pickup I had ever heard when I reinstalled. I was like, this bass plays like crap, but it sounds so good that I almost just took the pickup and sold the bass.
And you could just buy these pickups new now?
Yeah. So Curtis made a reproduction. That's how I kind of got into Novak. Was like I actually was looking for a vintage one of those pickups to put in a bass because like 15 years later it stuck with me how much I loved that pickup. And then Curtis had just came out with one like a month earlier, like reproduction, and I was like, oh, I love this guy. And then I found out that people were putting those in like 10 grand basses, that combination. And every combination I heard of that, I was like, that's the thing. And he said he even made that because it fits with the bisonic so well. So
that's awesome.
It's that old Guild, deep pickup. But I love that H22 bridge. And anyways, Red Rider.
Hell yeah. I love this thing already.
I thought for 1 second you were playing Number of the Beast. I was like waiting for it. I was like, I could just hear it. I was like, that's the tone. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not very good at playing Maiden songs, but
yeah.
But yeah, that kind of has that nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a really great tone right there. Just
That bass always sounds so good with a pick that it almost makes me want to become a pick bass player.
Dude, you got to, man.
I know.
Yeah, very cool. I like this thing.
Yeah,
I love that pickup combination now.
It's good. Well, we sell that pickup combination on basses here at B's Music Shop. We have this in blue on our website right now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I have one next door. It's in that bumper car blue fade. It's
that's so sick.
Yeah, this thing is just like...
Oh, yeah. It's like trashy, punky, but it's like really... I think plays like $1 million. Like, that's awesome.
I never have had an instrument made for me until this one. In 27 or 28 years in the industry, this was like the first one.
Wow, like from the ground up?
Yeah, because like it's so easy to just buy and sell, and you find things you like, and everyone's like, oh, let me make you this or let me do that, and I never would like, I'd almost, maybe I'll get a G&L custom shop or maybe I'll do this, and I just never did it until this one, and it's so weird because I feel like I'd spec something and then I wouldn't end up liking it because it's so easy to dream what you think you like.
Yeah,
man, and then this was it.
It's just right up my alley too. Like just the angles, all the hard edges on that, like shape-wise, I love.
It's like so bizarre, but also somehow my brain doesn't think it's like a Warlock or something, which is great and fine. But
no, it's been tamed. It's had some of its points cut off.
It's so light. It's like 6.6 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hell yeah, dude.
To you.
All right. Well, sweet, man.
When I did the MXR bass synth demo that's got a lot of views, someone wrote, I don't think you know how to play the bass. I think you just bang on it as hard as you can. Something along those lines. And I pinned that comment. And it was like...
Is that supposed to be an insult? Like, that's awesome.
That's what I want. like you got it. That's what I'm going for. Like, yeah.
That's...
I'm not here to be a jazz guy. I don't know. I don't know what notes are or how things fit together. I'm just...
Sometimes I want to listen to a record of a really great bass player. Sometimes I want to listen to a record where the bass player pounds on it and tries to make it do somewhat close to what the guitar does.
Sometimes you play stuff and you play things for the song, and sometimes I just want to like screw around and hammer on it, and that's fun to do.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Doyle from the Misfits play guitar?
Yeah.
He pretty much comes in overhand and like it looks like he's just punching, and it's not even like a strum, just a pow, and like he just keeps coming at it, and I don't know how his hand doesn't get completely busted open because he's also a very, very strong gentleman. But when I think of someone literally pounding their instrument, it's like Doyle from the Misfits. He's been doing it since 1979 or whenever he joined.
Because he was the bass player before he was the guitarist, right?
Jerry Only was always on bass.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, Doyle's his brother. So,
and then AC Slade is playing with them now when they were out. And AC bought a bunch of Meowdulators from us because apparently they are all cat people. So
AC seems really cool.
Yeah, he's really nice.
We've talked about gear a couple times, and
he has that Cat Bite Coffee. Is that what he is? He has a coffee company. He owns a coffee shop. Like he roasts coffee, and he kind of like the Rootless thing.
Sick.
So I also heard them fight.
I also heard AC's really good at cutting hair. So in case you ever need get spruced up before the gig,
he'll play in his band. He'll play in the Misfits. Yep. He'll make you a cup of coffee. He likes cats, and he'll cut your hair great. I think I need to get him here.
This might be the best person ever made.
Yeah, I think we're just selling AC to everybody.
All right, AC, congratulations! You won our what? Is it an award or just like a seal of approval?
I think it's both.
All right,
it's both.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
that's its own reel. Just tagging him.
He's gonna be like, I want a signature coffee guitar pedal. We need to do an AC Slade signature Wonder Cat pedal. That would be all the things.
That's like everything. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. My brother has a coffee company. This
Yeah,
company
Rootless,
right here,
yeah.
Rootless Coffee. And it was right in front of our nose this whole time. But the old brew overdrive. So I told my brother, I'm like, dude, I finally came up with it, old brew. And then he goes, cold brew overdrive. Because they have a cold brew blend. And I was like, oh man, this is great.
So why don't you just, this is my idea. Write this down. Mm-hmm. I don't think coffee beans conduct electricity.
Not very
You should
well.
just put a handful of coffee beans before you seal the enclosure so the pedal just always smells a little bit like coffee and you don't know why.
I would love to keep it completely packed with coffee beans.
Yes.
Like as packed as it can be. Because I hate when things rattle.
Yeah.
But I would love it to be just so full of coffee beans that it's like, what is going on with this
Why
pedal?
does this pedal always smell like coffee?
That would be amazing. That's a great idea.
What we should not do is the sardine overdrive.
No.
Why does this pedal
no.
always smell like rotten fish?
I've considered doing something like that to enemies. Like if like a certain dealer doesn't want to pay, I'll be like, hey, I got a couple pedals for you for this next order. Would you like some dead fish that I found?
You're really getting it. I think you need to stop watching mob movies.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been enough that I might cut off. I've been a vegan for a long time, but I might cut off a cow's head and put it in someone's bed. That's how
The cow
mad.
didn't do anything. Come on, Nick.
Maybe it'll just be like an old cow. Like
Yeah.
I'll find a way to make it.
Go
painless.
find one of those Ronald McDonald statues and cut his head off. And then that's a very vegan thing
Oh,
to
yeah.
like send a message. This is Ronald's head.
That's a cool protest move. I like that. But yeah, I don't know. I need to start watching some nice movies and some nice TV because I watch like Goodfellas and Casino back to back, and I've been having dreams.
Yeah.
not great dreams. I mean, they're great for me. I get a lot of money in my dreams, and I whack a lot of people. But I wake up and I'm like, I probably shouldn't do that in real life. So at least I get to live out my favorite fantasies of murder and extortion in my dreams.
We gotta move on.
That's a real cut it.
That is him threatening.
If I actually do get convicted of murder, like sometime down the
I'm
the
going to
road,
show up in the courtroom with this.
be like, yo, he 100% planned this.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of evidence. Great. Yeah, cut that real quick.
So Wonder Drive.
Oh yeah,
We want to do Wonder Drive. We did Old Blue. We did Red Rider. Do we want to do Wonder Drive, and then we'll go through all the other.
Yeah, we'll jump back. So the Wonder Drive was kind of my first real Wonder pedal. It was the Wonder Drive. It had two knobs and a diode switch, and then it was really well received. People just kind of liked that it was. I mean, yeah, it's a dirt pedal, but it's just dirty. It's a little bit fuzzy, a little bit hairy. Has a nice little kind of mid-range boost to it at lower gains. And due to popular demand, I ended up moving the tone knob to the outside. It's no longer like an internal trim pot.
Yeah.
Because I used to be very much like, you're going to like what I give you.
Yes.
But now I've actually expanded as a player, and I play so many different guitars and amps that I was like, I would like to have a little bit more control over that top end. And then this Mark I, Mark II switch. Mark I was kind of the original Wonder Drive. EQ curve, amount of gain, kind of all that. And then this Mark II setting was sort of something that happened by accident. And I was like, cool, let's implement that into the circuit. So this is the same circuit that was in my Wonderwall pedal. And brought it back in the gold enclosure for the 5-year anniversary of Oneder Effects.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some different little logos in the badge too. There's just all kinds of stuff in there. But yeah, this is, I call this my power pop distortion. So
Let's hear it.
it's big and it's sludgy and fuzzy, but clear. And then this kind of, the diode switch, you can kind of look at it as sort of like a vintage switch.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of like focuses on the mid-range, kind of cuts everything else. There it is.
Yeah, we did the Wonder Cat before, and we may do it again.
I think we should. You know, now that it's kind of in this new format, and it has this nice soft touch switch that I've been doing on everything. Just the construction of my pedals has just gotten better.
Yeah,
every year, easier for me to build, which actually makes it better quality because there's not a lot of margin for. Or how do I say that? There is a lot of margin for error.
Yes.
Meaning like you can do a lot to this.
You're trying to remove margin for error so that they're very consistent in the output.
Yeah. So it's like, hey man, do whatever you want to this pedal. It's probably going to still work.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with it. It's just, you know, getting better at what I do, finding out new stuff, and yeah, these things have been pretty rock solid. You know, I think every pedal builder has that fear that one day they're going to get 1,000 emails like, dude, my pedal just stopped working, and everybody's pedal's going to die at the same time.
Like your fear is that Oneder Effects has a Y2K bug.
Exactly. And it might be a cap. It might be the protection diode, but maybe there's something in my pedals that is just ready to kill the pedal. And I have that fear all the time. But now that it's been 5 years and that hasn't happened, I'm kind of like, I can actually rest a little easier. You know, things happen, of course.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know. It's nice to
know,
that.
we all have anxiety, and now they're out the other side of it.
Yep. You know, they've survived on tours. They go overseas, in studios. You know, they've been stomped on.
Well, I remember that with a Meowgulator. You know, we had a lot of things with coding it and understanding that like it would boot up or do these things. And as you go through the refinement process, you run into roadblocks, and then you think we solved this, but you're like, I think we solved this. And then you know you do have that fear where like now 1,000 people are playing these. What does that mean for like, I didn't try them 1,000 times in 1,000 scenarios. I tried them in 10 scenarios and did my best, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And you spent, you know, a couple months on it. Who knows what happens to that pedal in a year, you know? Yeah. And yeah, it's nice to know that I finally have, I kind of got it. I got it on lock.
Yeah.
And also like this pedal, we can actually jump to that. The HW2, Bo from Harm's Way and the Hard Lower podcast, you know, it's something we worked on together. And he said, one of the main things I want is like, I want sliders.
Yeah.
You know, I love having faders.
And that's your only pedal with sliders. I mean, it's not like, you know, some people run for sliders at the first time, and this you did just for him.
Yeah. And it's tough to build. There's more moving parts. I mean, quite literally. Yeah. There's more soldering. There's more kind of fitment issues. I mean, you could see that this is drilled. These are non-circular holes, you know, so it's like CNC, kind of has to get creative there. So it's very different, but, you know, it makes it look really cool. And I wanted to make sure Bo was happy, you know, if he was going to have his name on something. I mean, his name's not on it, but it's like, it's implied. We're cool that way, you know? It's like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised that it's on a lot of boards, and I haven't had any fader casualties. Luckily, these knobs, these are really heavy
I just
metal.
think like I could pour a beer into it, and there's this nice drain right here.
Yep, you could definitely do that.
And you'd be like, this is not under warranty.
It might smell, maybe you can make sourdough bread. Maybe it gets hot in there because of all the LEDs.
Yeah, that's a good way to get a tube amp to start on fire too. Yes. You melt out all the...
I've seen that happen so many times.
Yeah.
Just drinks going down the top vents on, you know, an orange head or something. Oh, it's rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing has been kind of like a tank, and it's a high gain distortion. and a really powerful EQ. And then it has the kind of HM2 chainsaw
So cool.
style EQ, and it's kind of blendable, so you can have a little bit of it and a lot of it.
You did a little bit of that with the Tiger Saw when you did that, has that kind of sound. And then this is kind of, I felt like this was kind of an evolution of the Tiger Saw in some ways. I don't know if they're even circuit-wise the same, but like...
Yeah, they're very different, and they kind of were completely separate ideas, but they have that kind of HM2 DNA. The Tiger Saw, I went from no EQ to full chainsaw EQ on a toggle switch. This one's a little bit blendable. And yeah, it's kind of cool because the HM2 is kind of known for black metal, death metal, just that Swedish chainsaw gnarly sound. But I found that with a little bit of chainsaw, not maxed out, you can get some really nice mid-forward sounds that sit in the mix for like punk rock and hardcore.
Awesome.
Newfound Glory used it in the studio on their new record, and they actually kept the chainsaw side on, which
nice.
I was like, what are you doing? And it sounded great.
That's not what you'd think of their guitar tone, but it worked for them.
Yeah, so it's kind of, so you heard it here first, folks. The Newfound Glory has a bit of HM2 EQ on their new record.
Secret's
and
out.
Courtesy of the HW2.
Let's hear this chainsaw. Let's hear this HW2.
So yeah, we'll go distortion side first, and I love scooping the mids on this thing. The mid range is very powerful on this, and this is kind of just like if you were going to play a dual rec or a 5150, that kind of vibe. And then, if we...
explain the knobs to me. So
Sure.
I'm assuming this is EQ.
Well, we're going volume, gain,
Oh.
bass, mid, treble. Yeah.
I never realized that. I was assuming that was just an EQ.
Like a 5-band. Yeah. The label on there is really small if you read it.
It's also backwards for me.
Yeah, true. So we got pretty much the whole amp, in quotes, the amp sound kind of here. And then this is the presence control for this.
No way.
So after you get this in, if you need to fine tune that high end, like... You can kind of shave off some of that ice picky highs, that you can get with a high gain
and
distortion.
then this is a blend for the chainsaw.
That's
so
basically...
if I turn this up, it's more chainsaw-y.
Yeah.
Play it.
Yeah, let's do it. So
so it's,
flip it on. Yep.
Yeah. So with it all the way this way, it's the same.
Yeah.
Or is there a gain boost in there? Or?
No, it's pretty flat.
That's so cool. Why are we not doing a Cats with Chainsaws pedal?
Oh, that's a great idea.
I mean, that could be very fun.
Yeah, I would love to do. I've considered doing a standalone of just this knob. I just love it so much.
Yeah, but you got to do the big knob. Like, didn't you do that in the fuzz pedal you had, where there's the one big knob?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. I had a single knob. Yeah, one of my friends at Dunn Effects, DUNN, does a really great kind of, it's pretty much this. It's implemented in a different way, but it's sort of like that HM2 EQ on a knob.
Yeah.
Mine sounds quite a bit different. It works a different way.
Yeah,
but
I like
it's a cool little utility pedal, so.
Hits that sound. I mean, it's such a specific thing,
Yeah, for sure. And I've been liking hearing, praise about it from all kinds of different musicians. When you put out a pedal that's kind of like a signature collab sort of thing.
Yeah.
Part of you is kind of like, well, it's a little gimmicky. I get it, But when people actually would write me, from hardcore and metal bands, and they were like, this thing is never leaving my board. This is my favorite of this kind of pedal. I was like, whoa, okay. We've done something right. And yeah, whenever I need to use a high gain distortion for like my own use, if I'm going into a clean amp, this is my distortion of choice.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the distortion on the Less Than Jake pedal, but just a little bit meaner and a little bit more tweakable, especially with the mids.
Well, let's move on to that one too.
Yeah, sure.
We can talk more about this because you did a couple colorways of this too, right? You had a black, and this is the CME one, right? Isn't that
the CME one was white.
Oh, I just thought this was Chicago with the.
Oh yeah, no, that's Bo is from Chicago, so everything,
no way.
Yeah, all of them are Chicago. The kind of the map on there and the stars. But yeah, the newest colorway we're doing this olive drab, which was kind of like, it was like, why didn't we do this one from the beginning? It looks so tough. It's like so pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Less Than Jake distortion is pretty similar, but it's a little bit more fine-tuned for, punk rock.
And this is the second iteration you made of that, because we did...
All My Best Friends Are Cats.
Yes. No pun too. But yeah, because we did the Oneder Drive. That was the Oneder Drive we did before, a couple of years ago now. And then we did this one, the Less Than Jake, our version of your Less Than Jake.
Yeah, people really love that one.
It was cool. Without All My Best Friends Are Cats. I can hold it up here.
Yeah, people are definitely, they're constantly hitting me up. Like, I saw this somewhere. Where do I get it?
Yeah, the Trombone Cat was a hit for me. I really liked it. I like the Trombone Cat guy. It was so fun.
So yeah, the original Less Than Jake pedal was just kind of blue, the Hello Rock View album colors, basically. They were celebrating 25 years of that record. And so for this new one, I was like, let's go super ska. The ska channel is right up here with the checkerboards.
Nice.
And it's just kind of a little bit more no nonsense. So that...
A little cartoonier.
Yeah, so this has the ska sound, which is basically my Wonder Boost circuit. And then you can go dirty. So yeah, and then it's kind of like an amp foot switch. It's like, all right, then we got to go to our high gain distorty chorus. I'll get away from the neck pickup now.
That's cool. Yeah, it's such a great pedal.
I really love distortions that are kind of meant to give you the chug and the saturation of a high gain amp.
Yeah.
People would be like, well, why don't you just use a high gain amp? It's kind of more fun to have a big old pedal board and a nice clean amp that's a pedal platform. And you could have it's like almost having a bunch of different preamps to slam into it, make different kinds of distortion. So yeah, those are kind of two of my favorites. And then, that kind of leads us into this.
So this is the Newfound Glory. It's a pedal. These last two I have not heard yet. I've not had them in the store. I haven't checked them out at all. So which one do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the Newfound Glory?
Well, yeah, let's, because this one, the Get Up Kids one, it is really just old Blue Overdrive into Red Rider. And and that's I guess we can actually
Let's
talk about that pedal. So yeah, when the band got a hold of me,
so it's literally just these two side by side.
Yeah, they said we want an overdrive and a distortion
Yeah.
in one enclosure, to save pedal board space. We think it would look cool. And then they were like, hey, how convenient. We used the old Blue Overdrive and the Red Rider distortion.
And you said you've been a fan of them, and you did not know them prior to this collab much, or how did you get?
Yeah, not at all. I think I was doing a little old Blue Overdrive demo on Instagram. I had like a reel or something, and I was playing a Get Up Kids riff, and then somebody tagged the Get Up Kids like, "Hey, check it out, cool." And then Rob ended up following me and basically being like, "Hey, what's up with your pedals? That sounds great." And I got them a handful of pedals to take out with them, keep in the studio, at home, whatever. And didn't really hear anything from them, but I was keeping busy. They were keeping busy. And the next time I heard from Rob, he was sending me pictures of their touring pedal boards, and Wonder pedals were on them.
Nice.
And I was kind of like, whoa, you're actually, because, people send pedals out to bands all the time. You never know. And yeah, the fact that they were being put to good use, I was, really honored.
Because you were a fan of them. I mean, you've told me you've seen them back in the day and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, about 25 years now. They were like the first kind of like indie band I ever saw play live. And, not to be too dramatic, but after watching that, I went to my brother and I basically was like, that's what we need to do. I was 13, my brother would have been 12. And I basically was like, I don't know what that was, but being in a band, traveling, playing whatever kind of music, like we need to figure out something like that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, my gateway into realizing that I could potentially do that someday. So yeah, just huge fan of the band. And the Something to Write Home About is the name of the record that came out in 99. And they were going to be celebrating the 25-year anniversary of that. And I was kind of like, hey, if you ever want to do some kind of special fun release, talk to me, let me know. So got on a little Zoom call with them, came up with some ideas for the pedal, the artwork, and it all just came together super well. And it sounds great. It's it sounds like my old Blue and my Red Rider. And the new one, actually, this is the slightly, I would call it like the V1 of the Action in Action Get Up Kids pedal. The newer one has a slightly updated Red Rider side to be more V2 spec, a little bit of a better blend control, a little bit more tweakability, but
You still get that mini switch in here, though.
yeah, that's the.
It's got to stay in that
luckily,
one, I'm sure.
Luckily, it doesn't light up, so it doesn't fool anybody. And it says blend, and it's pointed at it, so it's kind of like. But yeah, that's another really cool thing about the pedal: the fact that you can blend both sides together instead of just a clean blend. So yeah, this is kind of what they use, the old Blue side, as they're always on guitar and on bass, actually, equally. So yeah. And then, on the, I don't think that they really use the Red Rider side independently much.
So they use them together.
Yeah.
And then this one feeds this one, or it's parallel?
No, this one definitely feeds
into the other one. Okay.
Yeah. So I think if you have something like this, so they're kind of bigger parts, choruses, more distorted. It's like.
That sounds great.
So yeah, it's just drive, distortion in one package. And I think that Rob on bass, he uses the Red Rider as more of like a fuzzy kind of bass sound.
Yeah.
So the old Blue is mostly the sound. And then every once in a while for the really big moments, that Red Rider will really fuzz it up. And I think he has the blend cranked pretty hard
That's
on
cool.
that too.
They can use the same pedal across this whole sound and they still fit together really well.
Yep. And they just went to Europe and the UK. So they wanted to bring more compact boards. And yeah, they each had one of those on the board to handle all the dirt. And yeah, it's just very cool. I like it when, you have a pedal with a band and they actually use it. Yeah. It's like, oh, wow, cool. It's not just a merch item. So,
yeah.
Especially in a world full of, Kempers and fractals and stuff, it's pretty cool when someone's just like still really into, their touring rig. And
yeah.
And actually Jim from the Get Up Kids, he actually played a Marshall Blues Breaker combo, and he said that this sounded like okay with it, but then he switched over to his Vox AC30 and it sounded absolutely incredible. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then he said he was probably going to switch to the amp. So he was going to use an AC30 from now on because this sounded better through it. So it's almost like he put the pedal first, which is very cool. I was like, all right, okay, cool. Like you don't have to change your whole rig. If you want to use a different pedal for the overdrive or the distortion, like whatever, man, I'm just happy to be part of it. So yeah, it's kind of cool that it's, helping to sculpt their sound. Yeah.
Helping him, dial in what he really wants to sound like. And that's cool.
Yeah.
And if you are into these two pedals, you could just get this one and
It's true.
It's like it's your combo.
The only difference is that there's no diode switch.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they're fixed, but that's like it's fixed to what the Get Up Kids would use. So So it's the asymmetrical Old Blue V2 clipping on here and the asymmetrical Red Rider clipping over there. So yeah, if you do want different clipping options and the ability to flip them back and forth, put them wherever you want.
Yeah.
Getting one of each, and if you like sparkles, getting those.
Or if you have a fear of robots.
Yeah, but they're so cute. Like,
they are cute robots. But if you had a fear of robots,
yeah, I mean, you never know with AI. It's like,
maybe they could be thinking right there.
Yeah, and I have another colorway of that too. It's pink that it has the Cupid robot artwork on it.
Yeah,
so it's even cuter. Or even scarier, depending, how you.
I
like
cute. My whole brand is just cats. So yeah, I mean, I get it.
You got to make some light of this cruel world.
Yes.
So yeah, then the Newfound Glory pedal kind of came out of nowhere, and the way that this worked out, I'll go down the timeline here.
Yeah.
So I did the pedal with Danhausen.
Yeah.
And through that, I got in touch with Bo from Harm's Way. And then when we did the Chicago Music Exchange colorway, I made a joke in my stories on Instagram that it was based on CM Punk's underwear, professional wrestler CM Punk in the WWE. And he ended up reposting that and said, yes, this pedal is based on my underwear. And I actually think that helped sell quite a few. But it also got the attention of Chad from Newfound Glory, who's really good friends with CM Punk. He's a really big
fan of that guy's underwear.
Yes. Oh, we all are, So yeah, so Chad said, hey, like, what's up with that CM Punk pedal? And I was like, actually, it's not a CM Punk pedal. Just full disclosure, I don't want to like mislead anybody. But it's, it's just like this fun thing. But yeah, it's a Bo from Harm's Way and Oneder Effects collaboration. And he was like, oh, haha, that's fine. Like, I love the way it sounds. So I ended up sending him one. And then from there, he ended up buying one of my other pedals. And then I ended up sending him out a couple other pedals around Christmas time. Because he's going through it. He's was diagnosed with cancer. He's going through all kinds of treatment. Like, I got to spend some time with them in the studio in Franklin, Tennessee. And like, dude cares so much about music and it really keeps him going. Like, I've never seen someone so sick making a record. Like, he was just going for it.
Yeah.
There was medication everywhere. He was not feeling well, but he was like, it was really admirable to see somebody just kind of like tough through it. And he's like super strong dude. It's like, so I ended up talking to him about doing a pedal. And we were, of course, sometimes the name happens first.
Yeah.
And their big song is called My Friends Over You. And I said, hey, how about My Friends Over Boost? And then he goes, no, let's call it My Boost Over You, because this boost is better than the person you're talking about. We don't want anything over the boost.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's actually fun. So yeah, we talked about the sounds and what the idea was behind the sound here. And Newfound Glory, their record Sticks and Stones, it's kind of Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, but it's tight and it's just really snappy, sits in the mix super well. So I started thinking about that old TC electronic integrated preamp circuit, which didn't have a foot switch. You know, it was just like one of those old level bass treble kind of preamp circuits. Boss made something like it eventually too. And that circuit also became really popular in the 90s with the band Meshuggah. So really technical metal.
Yeah.
And they used it to tighten up their dual rectifiers. And I was kind of like, that could probably work for pop punk too. So I started working on the circuit, and sure enough, it sounded incredible in front of a high gain amp. So the secret is, boost the volume a little bit, and then you kind of cut a lot of bass. On these, you can really turn that bass down, and it's not going to hurt your signal, but it's going to really tighten up that distortion, and then, put your treble to taste. But then to make it a little bit different, I wanted to include a mid-boost switch, because in the studio, sometimes you add some high mids to really let something, show through the mix, cut through. And also Chad used tube screamers and stuff in the studio. So there's some mid-range content that, maybe a high gain amp might be missing. So we made the mid-boost pretty, I don't want to say obnoxious, but that it's on. And it really affects your high gain sound in a really pleasing kind of chuggy way that's just like mix ready. Like it just sits right in there. So yeah.
Well, now I want to hear it.
I'll turn on
so
this.
So much backstory now.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how this stuff happens, So yeah, I'll use the HW2 as sort of my high gain sound, and then I'll cut that on.
So yeah, it's here without it. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds incredible.
Yeah, so it really just kind of enhances, tightens up, and then this mid boost.
Play. Yeah. It just puts that little bit of sauce in there.
Yeah, it's just a really pleasing kind of mid-range. I like it more than a screamer style kind of mid-hump that's kind of just inherent in there. This is an active mid-boost. So it's like it really just adds to your signal.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. We still haven't did the bummer yet, but we gotta get around to
The bummer's a lot of fun.
The bummer's a lot of fun. It's funny, man. You know, you go through all these high gain amps, which are not my traditional amps, and then like you make me excited to want to play that. Like, just have you go through it. I'm like, yeah, I need to be playing some stuff like that. Like, it's fun to like go through your board with you and just like be like, yeah, I need these tones.
Yeah, see, there's a couple of kinds of high gain out there. There's the people who stack, you know, like 5 rats together with a tone bender, and they make a wall of sound that's feeding back and just impossible to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's a place for that, you know. And then there's the high gain, which is like the metal, punk, hardcore world, you know, hard rock, whatever. And that's kind of more my world. I call it usable. Of course, that's a subjective word, but it.
But in a world of tube screamers and DS1s and all those things, that's not the sound that you normally get with pedals.
Right.
I mean, it really isn't.
Yeah.
You know, like there's not you like if you think of that like dual rack 5150 distortion, there's not a lot of pedals. It's weird because those aren't the traditional like 7 distortion circuits that are the grandfathers of so many pedals.
Right.
That's not one of them, you know?
Yeah. Like when you look at the, you know, like the JHS Angry Charlie or like the Andy Timmons pedal, that kind of just...
It's a blues driver.
Yeah. That kind of saturated high gain thing is just so cool. And then also, you know, things like... You know, they have like the 5150 pedal in a box kind of thing. And so that's kind of what I lean toward when I'm doing my own kind of thing. It's funny, I'll either use my clean amp with these really high gain amp-like distortions, or I'll kind of come back and I'll just set up the old Blue and the Red Rider next to each other, and I'll use those kind of drives and distortions. There's so many, that's why it's cool having pedals. You can just kind of... use whatever kind of color palette, you know, and that you want to use.
You got your kitchen, just cook.
You just got to cook, man. You just got to let yourself cook.
Okay, we got to try the bummer, though. We have not tried the bummer yet.
Yeah. So we've got delay, reverb, chorus, and then there's like some wow and flutter. There's some white noise, tap tempo. There's a hold. There's a couple hidden functions, but it's really like all there right on the front for you. So yeah, if we start out real dry. So here's just your delay.
And we've got a tap for our delay.
Yeah. So you got your tap tempo and your sort of subdivision here. And then, yeah, this wheel down here in the bottom left, that one, the first third is reverb. The second third is chorus. And the final third of the rotation is reverb and chorus. And as you turn it up, you kind of get more.
Let's start being chorus there. Oh, there we go. So yeah, this is verb. And then we'll go into verb and chorus right about there.
Of course, now I'm doing all my mistakes, so the delay amplifies it 8 times, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that chorus. And then right there, it cuts into verb and chorus.
That's cool.
That's kind of the shoegazy, you know, 80s sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I like to do the wow knob pretty subtly, but it kind of has
this one right here.
Yeah, and it's kind of like
reading upside down. So.
And it's almost like those the mom knob. And this kind of makes it a little seasick. You can make it very seasick. It's pretty ridiculous.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
that's a lot of vibrato.
Yeah, so I like to keep it pretty low, as almost kind of emulates like some tape degradation, you know.
Yeah.
And then there's the noise switch, which actually, if you turn up the wow and the mix knob, so now we have that white noise.
Yeah.
So it really just sounds like something totally degraded. And then if you want the white noise without all that crazy vibrato, you can, the secret function is to hold the power or the bypass here. It blinks 3 times, and now it's kind of a random glitch, kind of like a flutter. So
oh, that's cool.
And yeah, if you turn it down a little lower, it's like a little bit less frequent and a little... So that's actually the setting I really like, is actually the secondary bypass function, because like sometimes I just want that kind of random thing going. But yeah, I've used it.
A little spice in there.
Yeah, and I've used it on a lot of records and stuff that I've played on. Just anytime I need a little bit of, dreaminess, it's kind of my one-stop shop for just, some people have like 8 pedals to create all these sounds, and they like the tweakability. And I'll be honest, I'm not someone who loves diving into menus and, having an entire pedal just for a little bit of chorus or, a little bit of reverb. So
and that's that pretty sound that is kind of the B to all this A.
Yeah.
It very much is like, if you're not playing dead clean, that's exactly that kind of pretty shoegazy, like, yeah, it fits the style of music that you have, embedded yourself in so much.
Yeah, and you could still get pretty dad with it. So
yeah.
like you're like,
I can get dad with anything. Oh, we're running this with other things now.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And turning off the off the repeats knob there, you can use just the modulation wheel with the verb and the chorus.
Remind me, what was this switch?
Oh yeah, I forgot that one exists.
I was like,
so yeah, it has a D and a T and an LF, and that's for digital, tape, and lo-fi, and it really just changes the sound of the repeats slightly.
Can you play it? I want
Yeah.
So we're on what? We're on D.
So yeah, I'll go clean here just so we can. Yeah. Let's do a little bit slower there. So yeah, the repeats there are just kind of clean and consistent.
And here's the middle.
And of course, with the digital pedal, sometimes you got to wait for it to make the changes. But that the middle there?
Yeah, the middle.
Yeah,
Yep.
So these repeats are a little bit fatter.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll go to the end.
Yeah. And then, the lo-fi, it pretty much thins out the repeats a little bit, and they degrade a little bit, so... So very subtle changes, but I wanted
in this like the
with that white noise and that kind of flutter. It almost sounds like you're listening to a cassette tape in your car and it's raining outside.
Yes, and you're kind of sad.
Oh, very sad.
So sad.
But it's the 90s, so you can't go tell people on the internet how sad you are. So you have to actually play guitar and write a record.
And what you should be doing is investing in a lot of companies. And we will give you a list in the 90s.
If I could go back and talk to my younger self, I would say, here are 5 companies you should tell your parents about.
Yes.
But yeah, this is the one that I just find myself
I like that.
Getting real lost in.
That's when that
it.
tape noise and the wow comes in. I like that on that side.
Yeah. And it's also like a big old shoegazer, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like if you're using the kind of high gain stuff.
Got the
Yeah, either way, yeah. And then
That's cool.
so yeah, you can kind of use that any which way you like. I think it sounds really good for clean guitars and with a ton of distortion. And I've also fed it into distortion pedals. That's what the kids like to do these days. And it's not normally my thing, but every time I do it,
There's no wrong way.
I'm always like, this is actually kind of cool. So yeah,
It's cool to see like how you continue to just kind of like use your contacts and make friends in the music industry and have built this whole collection of pedals. It's really fun to watch. And I know you've got some more things cooking.
trying, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we all got to hustle. And you know, I've told you this off camera, but I feel like a lot of people are doing more pedal collabs. And I've told you, I think you kind of, you know, I mean, there's not like signature effects have happened through the years, but I
Right.
feel like you have been going out and picking, you know, artists that aren't, you know, that's not Eric Clapton's Crossroads pedal. It's not
Right.
Jimi Hendrix fuzz wah. Like you've went out
Yeah.
and picked specific artists that you like, that you feel like your stuff fits, and then tweak stuff for them. And now I've seen other pedal companies, even larger pedal companies, do a similar thing. And I'm like, I think this is because you proved this was a good idea.
That's,
You know,
I mean,
it's
that's
really
nice
cool to see.
That's nice of you to say, man. Yeah, I just really liked the idea of chasing down what makes a band's sound, you know? So a punk and ska pedal, it's like brilliant. I mean, it's
Yeah.
clean and dirt, but, you know, being able to kind of curate, you know, without sounding too, you know, calling myself like an artist or something, curating
You're
guitar sounds.
Make small batch electronics. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to Wonder Factory. It is rooms in your basement.
Yeah, I've taken up too many rooms in the basement, but it is just a basement operation. But
So you
yeah,
can put time into it. You can go slow. You can fine tune. You're building these. I mean, people get these. They're quite literally from your hands.
I talked to a few people recently who were unaware that I build most of these. They thought, you know, maybe I just had some factory somewhere making them for me. I wish that were the case, but you know, it's kind of fun to, you know, make pedals on the couch every now and then. And yeah, so basically I like to look at it like I'm curating dirt sounds for people. So like, you know, this overdrive, this distortion, the settings that I have in the wet hot, they're all things that I would use, you know, if I had to go to the studio or if I wanted to set up my pedal board for being in a band. So with all the artist pedals, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, Harm's Way has kind of a high gain amp thing with some of that chainsaw. And it was like, well, let's put it together in one pedal, but how can we make it a little bit unique, you know? And then, yeah, with the My Boost Over You, it's kind of a take on a classic circuit that a lot of people have been digging lately, but with my own twist on it. And then, you know, adding the mid boost. And it's one of those things where it's like, whoa, cool. I can't believe I made that.
Yeah.
Because I plug it in and I use it myself. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of bummed out that Newfound Glory's name on it. Why can't I put my face on it? But it's like, no one's going to buy my face on it.
Yeah.
So Newfound Glory, great band, you know, so influential. And yeah, I'm just so, you know, what's the word? I don't want to say humbled, but honored, you know, that these bands would want to work with me and take a chance with me. Like Chad from Newfound has been so generous with his time and just letting me hang out in the studio, making videos for me, posting stuff. And it's just like, man, like that is just so nice.
It's so weird. at least like this has happened. Like, so we did that pedal with Keely and Andy Timmons a little bit ago with has Andy's cats on it.
Yeah.
And Andy called me to tell me how excited he was about the pedal, which is like this thing I've been working on and hadn't really, you know, through Keely, we'd had some interactions, but it's weird when they call you and they're like, this is like exciting the hell out of me today, right now. You know, like they're like, this is so great. And they're like raving at you and you've put all this like love and energy into this thing. And yeah, it really like lays you out. Like, this is a huge artist that is so fun and entertains so many people and does this cool thing. And now they're excited about the weird thing you do. It kind of like, you're like, oh yeah, this is fun. Like it wakes you up a little bit, I think sometimes.
Yeah, you're getting the real-time reaction from the person behind it.
Yeah.
And then kind of realizing the weight of that. And like, even like, you know, with just hearing from somebody, I don't even remember who it was, but they were like, hey, blah, 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 so-and-so from the Get Up Kids is really excited about that pedal coming out.
Yeah.
And I was like, that, even hearing that secondhand is really cool. And I heard the same thing. The people who make my guitar picks that I put in all the boxes and in tune GP, you know, we got a cool Newfound Glory Wonder pick that's going to be cooking up, that's going to come in every box. And I've never done like a little collab pick, but I was like, that'll be kind of fun. And Bert at Intune kind of went above and beyond and like designed something really cool and was like, you should use this. And then, you know, he went on to say like, yeah, Chad seems to be really excited about the pedal. And just hearing that is really cool. And, you know, I'm not saying that the bands don't tell me that. They do. But it's like, I'm always like, are you just saying that to be nice to me? That's kind of how I always feel about anything in life. It's like, you're just being nice. But then, you know, the imposter syndrome has to melt away because my kids got to eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all need to eat. Well, man, I think you do such a cool job of this stuff. And we've gotten to be friends over the last couple of years, and it's just fun to watch you. Like, I mean, we've encouraged each other on lots of projects.
Absolutely, man.
And things. It's awesome to see you blossoming, as I said at the start. You know, like you you keep having cooler stuff coming. And, you know, this is the pedal world. It's a hard game to play.
It sure is.
It's a tight market, and it's fun to watch you keep sort of solving it and figuring out like what the next steps are, because you find them, and I know it's not easy, and like some of the stuff is so cool, like the art is so cool. I mean, look at how many pedals you've got now, and you know you started sunsetting pedals because you're like, I got to stop making this for all because I have too many things going on. And like, you're like, so, you know, I might let one of these melt away for a year because I have so many things going, and that's such a cool place to be, you know?
Yeah, I even didn't put my Wonder Fuzz on this board, which is in my lineup actively right now. It might not be forever. I brought it back as kind of my 5-year thing. But, you know, I'll be honest, I only had 8 spots on my power supply on this board. So I picked the 8 that, you know, I was most excited about at the moment. So since this doesn't even have a release date yet, by the way, but everybody will know when it's happening. But yeah, this
you have an email list you sell that on. So like,
the email list is
that's the place to find out. A little early.
Yeah, it's the only thing these days that gets me right into your inbox. You know, with the algorithm, you never know. I mean, really, otherwise you got to rely on like your dog makes a funny poop. And like, that's really, really selling you. I think like 10% of your pedals is probably. It's true. People have been telling me lately, they're like, what's up? Like, are your dogs okay? Do they poop anymore? Why aren't you taking video of them pooping? And I'm just like, I'm giving them their privacy right now. They're getting older, you know? But no, I don't know. I go through spurts of like being the pooparazzi. That's what I call it.
You make a lot of content that makes you laugh, which makes me laugh, which is
I'm trying to get back into it, man. It's
a grind, man.
When you're so busy building pedals and trying to build your company
and being a dad.
Oh, of course.
I mean, we're both dads. I get that. Like,
turning off Pedal World right at 4:30 every day and really just like focusing on the family is like really important to me. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about work, because I think everybody takes a bit of work home with them. But yeah, it's been, like you said too, having so many pedals in my line as a one-person show, it can be pretty intimidating, because not only do I have to build all these, but I have to make demo reels for them. I have to send them out I have to.
Because you're packing them. You're doing. I mean, there's no Wonder Junior team behind you.
There will be soon when my son gets better at soldering. When Everson,
he's 8.
He's going to be 8 really soon, next month.
Has he got a new design coming for us?
He does, and unfortunately, I'm what is it called, the bottleneck. There something, yeah, right. I'm the one stopping it because I just don't have the capacity to make a new pedal. But he wants Lion Axe to happen pretty bad.
Ooh.
So we got Tiger Saw. Lion Axe is next. He had another idea for another pedal.
I think it should be like a stutter pedal.
I think so too. We were thinking trem and fuzz.
Trem fuzz, yeah, that would be fun.
I think that it has to be, and then I'm probably going to have to, since I got Tiger Saw tattooed on me, I'm probably going to have to get Lion Axe tattooed on me as well. So it's a big commitment.
One of the original, the artist that does all of our cat pedals, Avery, who became all our graphic design, did a tattoo on me. That's how I met her. And I'm like, I kind of got to start getting more of the cats on me. I think it's time.
You can get like an entire leg sleeve going.
Yeah.
It'd be
I
pretty
think
cool.
I got to do it all. I think the Meowdy partner, which was is hilarious. That is, the pedal did well, but the shirts did better.
That's weird, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, I think I got to get that. I think that's the one for me.
And hey, if you, I'm not saying do it right away, but that trombone cat, it's looking pretty good.
I think we should do a trombone cat shirt. We should put it on more stuff.
That would be cool. Yeah, you are more than welcome to have any ska flavored felines in your line.
We should do it. You should do it.
People love those two things, especially together.
Yeah. We had cats. Cats work with everything. I found out because I have to eat.
Yeah.
So you have to think about all this stuff to eat. I have to think about how can I shoehorn cats.
And that's the weird thing. If you don't make enough money, you'll actually be eating cat food. So it's going to come full circle in the worst way. So please,
and then if you don't
everybody,
eat enough, you'll become cat food.
That's so true. If you just perish on your couch, it's not long.
Yeah, they'll eat you.
You don't have long. My dogs, I don't know what they would do. They would probably, sadly, they would probably just be like, well, that's it for me. They would just
so sad.
I know. I'd be like, at least eat me. You could have a good 2 weeks. But my dogs wouldn't eat me. They don't even like.
It's wild how they evolved from wolves who would do all these things to my tummy gets upset if you change food brands.
And if you throw my dog a little scrap of something, especially my little dog Piper, there's a 1 in 3 chance she'll throw up a ton.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know if it goes down the wrong tube or if she's just weird and old. But yeah, it's kind of do we give her even an ice cube? And you give her an ice cube and she's like, and then everything comes out. So
man, that's evolution.
Yeah, it's true. Not a wolf. Definitely not a wolf.
All right, man. Well, hey, dude, it's so great. I got to shake your hand, even though it'll be awkward over here, man. It's so great. Always you come by. We talk about this all the time. We talk about a million things. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it. And I'm glad we kind of waited so we got a bunch more stuff to talk about. It's so cool.
Yeah, seriously, for the first half of this year, it's been a lot of waiting. Just waiting for stuff to get finalized, wait for stuff to come in.
Import transistor things got weird. I mean, things things change day to day. And it's so cool.
Things are finally kind of starting to come together. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. And, thanks for watching.
We'll see you later.